Do they have a code clearance?
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out. I was about to clear them.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. Today's deck is something very special, but before we get to that, I just want to remind everybody that Wilds of Eldraine spoiler season is in full swing, and we are documenting all of the spoilers with short videos, a minute long, and we have a playlist called Wilds of Eldraine spoiler season that I'm going to link up above and down below for you. Make sure and check those out to get my thoughts on each card as it's spoiled and how I think they might affect the meta or what I'm excited to brew with them. Check that out for sure. Also, I have been invited back to early access for Wilds of Eldraine. So, August 31st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 24 hours straight, we're going to be streaming. I've got over a dozen decks lined up. I probably won't stream 24 hours straight, but I'll stream at least 12 hours, get a little bit of sleep, and then jump back on and stream until it ends. It's going to be absolutely wild. Also, a big shout out to my patrons over at patreon.com/quarantinedcapricorn. That's Brittany, YUKFOOZi, Squirrel, and Noah Vincent at the Brew Crew Elite tier. And then, of course, our forever CPU savior, Terrence Rohrbach. Thank you guys so much for all of your contributions to the channel and helping me to keep pushing forward and doing this as full-time as I can. We are doing a Patreon pledge drive right now. And our lowest tier on Patreon is only $1, even though they suggest doing our lowest tier as $3. Forget that. $1. The pledge drive right now, if you sign up as a new Patreon subscriber anytime between now and early access, you'll get to submit any deck you want for early access with the new Wilds of Eldraine cards. I will play that deck live on Twitch, and I will keep playing it until it loses. If it does well enough, it'll probably even turn into a deck tech on the YouTube channel. But either way, that's available to every single person that's a new subscriber over on the Patreon. Or if you're already on the Patreon and you upgrade your tier by at least one tier, you can also do the same thing. So if you're interested in seeing what one of your deck ideas has to offer and how good it performs and if it works as well as you're envisioning or whatever, definitely think about that, because it's only $1. And we will play any deck you can come up with as long as it's standard legal and contains Wilds of Eldraine cards, because we are limited to actually doing Wilds of Eldraine standard decks on early access by Wizards of the Coast. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. This deck is a new deck we created in a limited format that popped up on MTG Arena called No Ban Historic. So the idea here is that you can play every card in Arena. There are no bans. There are no restrictions. Everything's available. And it's about as close as you can get to playing Vintage on Arena, probably that we'll ever get. This deck in particular is called Visions of Vintage because of that. And the idea here is we're trying to, I shouldn't say trying to because it's definitely broken, but we're absolutely breaking Channel, which is the #1 most busted, most broken card in existence. We're also pairing that alongside some other staples of Vintage that we haven't gotten to play in quite a while, like Demonic Tutor and Dark Ritual, and there's some really interesting win conditions, and we utilize our sideboard in interesting ways here, and it's a super crazy deck, so I'm excited to show it to you. Before we check that out, just a reminder, like, subscribe, leave your comment down below if you've played this format and you used a different deck and what your luck was, and if you actually managed to pull out wins and what your experience was like. Let us know in the comments below. But all of the likes and the comments and everything, it does help the channel get out to that many more people and help us grow quicker, so I greatly appreciate it. Also, catch us live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/quarantinedcapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. Let's check out the deck. Alright, so we're playing this in the new No Ban Historic format that is popped up as a limited time event over on MTG Arena. And what we're trying to do here is just create a deck that's as close to vintage as we can get and sort of recreate that feel on Arena. And we do that with a few different cards that are insanely, utterly overpowered and broken in older formats, but the most important of which is Channel. Channel is 2 green mana for a sorcery, and until end of turn, any time you could activate a mana ability, you may pay 1 life, and if you do, add 1 colorless mana. So this basically gives you near infinite colorless mana as long as you have the life to pay for it. If you're still at full life, 20, you can easily pay 19 life and get 19 mana on turn 2. What are we going to do with that mana? A whole bunch of broken things. So the obvious thing the deck's trying to do is Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Because Channel makes colorless mana, we want something really powerful to do without having to require colored mana if possible. That way we could turn to play Channel, play Ulamog, 10 mana, doesn't matter, we go down to 10 life, comes in as a 10/10. Even if they're able to counterspell this, on casting of the spell, we get to exile 2 target permanents, and it's not non-land permanents. So if we're on the draw on turn 2, we hit their only 2 lands, and they're so far behind for the rest of the game, it doesn't even matter. Even if they counter the Ulamog. But if they don't counter the Ulamog, and the Ulamog actually lands, there's no way they can come back to it. But by the time they have enough mana to actually maybe deal with the Ulamog, we can just kill them. 2 swings from this and they're dead. And even if they start putting down chump blockers, once they do get some more lands, we're exiling cards from their library every time we swing. So we still get them in 3 swings typically, even if they put down a chump blocker. So it's easy to win the game outright, but we wanted to take it a step further and not just have this one way where if we're lucky, we've got Channel and Ulamog in our opening hand and we can, win on turn 2. We want to increase our chances of being able to win by comboing out as early as possible, as consistently as possible. So we're using some other combo cards and combo pieces in addition to a lot of ramp. So first of all, we're using 4 Demonic Tutors. That way, if for only 2 mana, we can search out whatever piece we're missing. So if we have the Ulamog but no Channel, we can use Demonic Tutor to find the Channel. If we have the Channel but no Ulamog, we can use it to find the Ulamog. Now that's obvious. Every combo deck tries to utilize tactics like this with tutors. But we've also got an alternate win condition in this deck in Torment of Hailfire. We have 4 copies here, 2 black and X sorcery. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. And if we can do this early enough, we can Torment of Hailfire for 19. And between the cards in their hand, the permanents they have in play, and their life total, most of the time they can't survive it. But even if they do, they're going to be completely out of cards in their hand and probably have to sacrifice all of their permanents in play, and then they're going to be in top deck mode while we still have the rest of our decks. So a lot of times this works as a very easy alternate win condition. It is worth noting we need 2 black for this and 2 green for the Channel. So the earliest this can happen is turn 4 unless we utilize some of our ramp. And that brings us to the other really broken card that's in the deck that reminds me of vintage, and that's Dark Ritual. For 1 black mana at instant speed, we make 3 black mana. This is nuts. It's about the closest we can possibly get to a Black Lotus in this format. But Dark Ritual has always been crazy. It's not free like Lotus. It does cost 1 black mana, but it's still giving us 3 black mana. It's ramping us considerably in 1 turn. And with the Dark Ritual, we can play Channel Torment of Hailfire on turn 3 rather than turn 4 by paying for both black pips with the 1 Dark Ritual, and even have 1 mana left over to boot so we can get an extra mana towards X for Torment of Hailfire, which can sometimes make all the difference in the world. So not only is Dark Ritual going to be great for ramping us into Torment of Hailfire early if that's the combo piece we have, but it can also let us cast multiple spells If we want to Demonic Tutor and do something else early in the game, we have the ability to do that. If we want to get out a turn 2 the One Ring, which is also in this deck, and we'll get to in a little bit, we can do that. But let's work our way up from the bottom of the curve. We've got 4 Kami of Bamboo Groves, because for 1 green mana, it's going to ramp us when it comes into play. It's also going to be a nice chump blocker to delay aggro, but also later in the game, we can just channel this to get lands if we just want more lands, especially because we need double green for channel, no pun intended. Moving on, we've also got 4 copies of Lotus Cobra. It's just another body that can come down, generate mana for us so that we can do our combos quicker and more efficiently, but also serves as a chump blocker. Again, if we're up against aggro, the main thing you want to remember with channel is it's using up our life. So the less life we have when we go off with the combo, the less likely the combo is able to do enough to actually win outright. So we want to keep our life total as high as possible. So having these creatures that can ramp us, but also double as ways to prevent our opponent's aggro and give us an extra turn to get to where we need to be, is super important. We have 1 Weather the Storm for similar reasons, where if we have the ability to channel into something and combo off for the win, but we don't have enough life anymore because we've taken enough damage from aggro or whatever the case may be, but we do have a tutor, we can use the tutor to find our 1 copy of Weather the Storm, which in conjunction with channel can actually gain us back a ton of life, because channel will let us cast a lot of things in 1 turn, and kind of make the difference in us being able to have enough life to do the damn thing that we want to do and win the game outright. So 1 copy of that, alongside 3 copies of Cram Session, because this is another card that's going to buff up our life total, give us a little bit of extra breathing room to get to where we need to be, while also learning and fetching us a lesson, which can be relevant. We've got lessons in the sideboard, 2 Environmental Sciences, which are again going to ramp us, which is what we want to be doing with the deck, but also gaining us even more life. And then we have just 1 copy of Introduction to Annihilation as an oh shit button, because if they happen to be using like a similar deck and get an Ulamog into play, or Karn, as you'll see in a minute that we'll talk about, we can deal with their big threat and get back to trying to win the game. So 1 panic button in here alongside 2 Environmental Sciences. Moving on to the 3-drop slots, we have Chromatic Lantern. This is going to mana fix us. It's going to color fix us so that we have the 2 black for Torment and 2 green for Channel, even if we're in a situation where normally we would have 3 of one and 1 of the other or something like that. It's also going to ramp us because it taps to add a mana of its own. But the important thing to note here is it's an artifact that comes down for 3 colorless, which means if we cast Channel, we can just spend 3 life to play the Chromatic Lantern, which then gives us access to a colored mana that we might be missing to cast one of our other spells, because Channel's only giving us colorless. So there are definitely turns where we can channel and we just don't have enough colored mana we're like 1 colored mana away from doing the thing we need to do, but we can use channel mana to play Chromatic Lantern and then do the thing we need to do, which is nice. Moving on, we've got the 4-drop slot, 3 One Rings. Now this is sort of plan B, where if we don't have our combo pieces, this can very quickly ramp us into drawing more and more cards exponentially so that we do get our combo pieces that much quicker. And what's cool about it too is in this deck, since we're running Dark Ritual, we can very easily just the One Ring on turn 2 with Dark Ritual. And if we get this on board that early, it's going to start generating value so quickly it gets kind of disgusting. We can also just kind of play it for free for 4 life if we channel, which is also pretty good. And the one part of this that I think is a little overlooked that's really important in this deck, especially in this format, is the fact that when you play it, until your next turn, you gain protection from everything. So a lot of times, since it's a combo deck, you just try to get to that next turn. You just try to eke out 1 extra turn so you can get to the point where you can finally combo off. And the One Ring really helps you do that by playing it out on a key turn if you didn't play it early, and stopping the opponent's aggro, keeping your life total high, keeping you from dying or taking more damage so that on your next turn you have all of your life so that you can channel and combo off. So the One Ring, 3 copies, really good, alongside 3 copies of Karn. And Karn is absolutely gross in this deck. 4 mana for a legendary planeswalker. We can pay that 4 colorless mana with channel. So Karn comes down for 4 life, essentially, and then finds us any artifact out of our sideboard, which is gross. Now, what we want to grab, since Ulamog isn't an artifact, we've got God Pharaoh's statue in here, and it almost does the same thing. If we can get Karn out, say, on turn 2, with a channel, or with a dark ritual, or whatever, preferably channel, with channel we can grab God Pharaoh's statue, immediately play the God Pharaoh statue for 6 life. It comes into play, and now all spells your opponent casts cost 2 more to cast, which is effectively just as good as playing an Ulamog on 2 and hitting their 2 lands. So, by the time they have enough mana to actually play spells to deal with our board, they're gonna lose. They're also losing 1 life during the beginning of, at the end of our end step. At the beginning of our end step. And because we have Karn on the field, we can uptick Karn next turn to turn God Pharaoh's statue into a 6/6 and swing with it for 6. So it's effectively really doing 7 damage to the opponent each turn, which is a 3-turn clock. A 3-turn clock when they have to spend 2 mana or more, and it comes down, 2 mana more to cast everything they cast, and it comes down on turn 2, is incredibly hard to deal with, and probably you end up winning the game outright. But we do have a few other things to fetch in here as toolbox tools. We have 1 Portal to Phyrexia, since we essentially get to play it for free with channel. If we really just need to wipe the board of 3 creatures earlier in the game, and we do have the channel online, and that's important enough, we can play the Portal to Phyrexia, and then also use Portal to get back creatures out of the graveyard. Maybe our Ulamog got countered early, or whatever the case may be, and it's sitting in our graveyard, or maybe our opponent has an Ulamog or something really crazy in their graveyard. We can use the Portal to Phyrexia instead and just win through value with that. We can also fetch our 4th copy of the One Ring if we just need to draw a bunch of cards and find all of our pieces to win the game, and we're just not getting it done. We can just fetch that and make it happen. And then we've got 1 Conduit of Worlds, because it lets us replay lands from the graveyard. You okay, dog? Pupper is coughing. Hi. Welcome to Pupper life. So we can play lands from the graveyard, which is actually really important in this deck, because we have Lotus Cobra, so those lands are going to generate us extra mana, and we have Fabled Passage, which means the Fabled Passage will go to the graveyard and then be able to get replayed with the Conduit of Worlds. And that could make the difference in just having just enough ramp to do all the things we need to do in a turn to win the game outright. And it kind of happens, I think it happens in one of the games. You'll have to check out the games to see. But the other ability to tap it and choose any non-land permanent in our graveyard and be able to recast it is also important. Because if we do have channel online, we can cast Ulamog from the grave, or we can cast Karn, One Ring, whatever we need to from the graveyard in order to get our engines going again, or to start refilling our hands so that we can get to our combo pieces. There's a lot we can do with that. So that's the deck. It's incredibly powerful and crazy. I'm glad this is only a limited time format, but while it's here, I'm absolutely going to do the gross things, and I recommend you do the gross things because it's as close to vintage as you'll ever get on MTG Arena. And there's something very nostalgic about playing a deck like this that is able to abuse Dark Ritual and Channel and Demonic Tutor. And it's super fun. So this is the deck. Play the deck. Have a good time. These games are absolutely wild. We get wins so quick. Let's check them out. Let's see. I think we keep this. Got the channel off. Ugin. We can do better than Ugin. We can do better than Ugin. We can do better than Ugin. Hi. He's doing it. He's doing it. Oh, God. I love it. We can keep this. It'll take a little bit. It's okay. Turn 3, I think. Thoughtseize? Oh god. He's got to get rid of the channel, right? Alright, we'll fetch black just in case we need to use the Dark Ritual. Although we're probably hanging on to it for a bit. Alright. Well, next turn we can cast the One Ring if he doesn't discard it. He's probably going to discard it though. Alright. We will fetch our forest. We'll do some of this. We'll do some of this. We'll do some of this. Do some of that. Say go. Alright, now we just need Channel or Demonic Tutor. And we should be good. Hey, there we go. Although we need one more land in order to do it this turn. Let's see if we can draw one. Hey, there we go. If I play Lotus Cobra... Yeah, that's not worth it. Okay. So. Demonic Tutor. We find Channel. We play Channel. And then we play Ulamog. Aww. He didn't let us Ulamog. This looks fine. We'll keep it. Well, there's our Channel. Brainstorm. Sure, you can have Brainstorm. Seems okay. Now all we need is our gas. Counterspell? Sure.
Walk with me, sing with me. I will enlighten you. I think a little merriment.
Lotus Cobra. Well, we are in a bit of a pickle. Man, Oko's pretty busted, huh? I don't think anything's really worth it. Gotta get you down to 5. For sure. I think next turn we have to channel Kami of Bamboo Groves. Sure.
Let's broaden your existence.
Bitch.
We have everything, but we have nothing. And this is very frustrating. Alright, we could Dark Ritual and have 4 mana, but what the hell are we going to use it for? Gain a whole bunch of life? Who cares? We're going to save it. We're going to save it until we have something big to cast. All we need to do is draw into an Ulamog or Hailstorm. And we just win.
One bite, and all your cares are gone.
Does he have a counter spell? That's the question. That's 8. It's exile, right? Get out of here. Go ahead and counter my Ulamog. Do it. If only I had some green. Oh wait, I will have some green. Alright, it's getting back 15 life. That worked. End turn. Too bad he already used up his counter spell. The ceaseless hunger. Oh no, Nexus of Fate. Please just tell me that was a last-ditch effort and he's not set up to go infinite yet. Hey, we got him. Haha. Ulamog wins the day. Do I keep this? I think I can keep this. Start with a Fabled Passage. Pass a turn. We'll find green. Simic Land. Play the tower. I think we actually Cram Session here. Find Environmental Sciences. Because then we can play Lotus Cobra. Well, we still have to play the Environmental Sciences, so never mind. I guess we just play out the Lotus Cobra. It's definitely going to eat something. Jank decks only. Janky McSpanky. Yeah, no. Let's do Environmental Sciences. Really? Okay. Sure. That's kind of surprising. So that you can play a Phyrexian? Like, what? How strange. I'll just play a chump blocker. Phyrexian doesn't have trample, right? We need all of our life, damn it. Come on, channel. Can't we ever just, like, draw channel? Normally. Five. Lots of potential here. I think the One Ring is going to be a little slow. Play land. That's 2. I think we're going to need it, though. I think we're going to need it. And then we're going to need to conserve our health. Because obvious reasons. So if he wants to kill it for sure, he either has to kill our Kami. Okay, he did. So he'll attack Karn with Phyrexian and then swing at us with Thief and steal a card. That makes sense. Still above 20 though. Where is our channel? Hey, what's going on, Lone Wolf? Welcome to the stream. What are you putting there? 2 Torment of Hailfires. Okay. Alright. You will not hurt me anymore. I will keep all of my health. Thank you. And there's our channel. Well, let's go for it. Aw, he scooped. He didn't even let us Ulamog. Ugh. This is fine. Channel is gross. Channel is gross. Let's do that. And then we will win. We will do all of the winning. How rude. Channel. Karn. And we do winning. Yay for winning. Kill you. Now everything costs at least 3. We will grab that to be safe. Draw some cards. Say go. Alright, we're gonna lose 2 life here. But it's fine. Alright, here we go. All the things. Black. Search out a land. Green. Search out a land. Black. Green. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 manners. 7 manners. So we absolutely have to play the One Ring. So that we can do that. And then we'll draw. And then we'll play Weather the Storm. Gain back some life. And then we'll smash for 7. And then I think next turn we win. Alright, he can play a 3-drop. Let's see if he has what it takes. I'm gonna get real crazy. Channel. Play the channel. Black. Green. Crack it. Black. Green. Cram Session. Environmental Sciences. Because we just want the life. And then... boom. Goodbye. Last one. And smash. Put you at 1. End turn. You win. I win. I win? Right, I win. Not you win, I win. Alright, we'll keep this. Blooming Marsh. Kami of the motherfucker. I think we Dark Ritual 1 ring. End the turn. Ragavan. Well, that's something. Ski bop and doo bop. I should have cracked my Fable. It's okay though. Everything will be fine. Pass the turn. Keep the Kami as a way to trade with the Ragavan if he doesn't deal with it. Just need to draw a bunch of cards. Liliana, sure.
I'll have this fight finished before brunch.
I mean, we dealt with a whole lot of stuff. He had to jump through a whole lot of hoops just to hit us once with Ragavan. And he might even hit something that's way too expensive for him to ever dream of casting. Fabled Passage. And there's our channel. Treasure. We have to be very careful. We want to be at 4 because he could have a lightning bolt. So 18. Yeah, there we go. This looks gross. We'll keep it. Oh god. You know what? I should have just played the Fabled Passage. Because putting the Fabled Passage into play early with Kamiya Bamboo Groves is kind of pointless. Because it comes in tapped, and then we still have to crack it next turn, which means the land it fetches will come in tapped. If we play Fabled Passage this turn, we could play Overgrown Tomb next turn untapped. And play like a Lotus Cobra or something. There goes Ulamog. He's gotta be playing like Counterspell and stuff. Yeah, I think we got there. Well, we needed to double down on just making the combo happen as quickly as possible. Whatever it takes to just make it happen. This is a little bit scary, but I think it's the right play. Plays Opt. Got 36 cards left in our library. Frantic Inventory. And there's our channel. Do we have any way of making 4 mana this turn? Maybe we can draw into a Dark Ritual. Hey, there it is. Do we want a Demonic Tutor for something? Nah. End the turn. And he scoops. But if I want a Torment of Hailfire instead of Ulamogging, then I need 2 black to go with the 2 green, which is why we have the Dark Rituals. We'll keep this. This is still pretty decent. Alright, you're about to see it. You're about to see it, boys. I bet you feel real proud of yourself. Channel. Ulamog. Goodbye lands. Scoop diddly-oop. I'm pretty sure it was the first card to ever be banned. I remember in Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, people would just make channel Fireball decks. Because Fireball is just pay 1 red and X, do X damage to whatever. So as long as you had basically 4 mana, 1 red for the Fireball, 2 green for the channel, and then you spend 19 life, putting you at 1, and then you would need 1 more mana, so the 4th mana would be so that you could get the Fireball to 20. And hit them in the face. And that was like one of the first like combo decks. And I think Channel was the first banned card ever. I think. Yes. When I am done with this game. Keep 7. Or if YUKFOOZi is still here, he can send it to you because he originally came up with the core of what the idea is. Alright. We'll go Overgrown Tomb. Mishra's Bauble, sure. Mishra's Bauble. Lots of Mishra's Baubles. You have hexproof. Do we actually... Do we actually want a channel? I guess. But we don't have the greatest things to hit with Ulamog. We really want to hit 2 lands, but... Still. Turn 2 10/10's pretty good, I hear. Still slow him down by 1 land. We could play the One Ring and go to 6. You know what? You only live once. Let's do it. I'm not going to draw a card this turn, though. Demonic Tutor Hailfire. I don't have the black. That's the one thing about channel, it only makes colorless mana. So you do have to kind of play around it a bit. Alright, he's drawing a bunch of cards, but he's got nothing on the field. And we have a 10/10. So... what would you like to do, Linkens? Plays a synthesizer. Why would you play it? You can't even play land. Well, I guess you could hit like a bauble or something, right? Draw a card. Swing. Boom. How do you think he'll die first? The damage or the milling? It's most likely going to be the damage, but who knows? If he draws 6 cards... Well, no. He would still have to untap before he dies from not being able to draw, so... He is ballsy, though. Casting Faithless Looting. Bauble. Yeah, we got you. Sad that I didn't need to, didn't have the opportunity to search for more things with Demonic Tutor and go off some more. I'll just win real quick. This is a good hand, so I can just win real quick. Hi, which Demonic Tutor would you like? You silly bastard. Skibbidoppin'-doobin'. Scoopin' beebin' beaver. One to you. Take that, mantra. I would like a green source, please. And thank you. Watch me win. Wait a minute. Sack a creature. This man. Channel. Absorb energy. That was rude. It was like really rude. Really, really rude. Now we can't do our thing, can we? Not quite. You know what? We probably should have just channeled the Kami. Got 2 forests. Fatal push. Okay. Environmental sciences. Blinded me with science. Cram Session. I want to hold on to that Demonic Tutor as long as possible, because if he uses discard right now, if he chooses channel, we can find the tutor to find another channel. If he chooses the torment, we can use the tutor to find a win condition. Haha! Success! This is decent. We need 2 green sources though. Having a swamp is bad. Yeah, we got a mulligan. If that was a forest instead of a swamp, I would have kept it. Bubble. Bubble. Alright, we need a green for channel. For sure. Okay, if we Dark Ritual... We could Dark Ritual... But we wouldn't be able to channel. It's one or the other. Unless we Dark Ritual into a Chromatic Lantern and then cast Channel into another Chromatic Lantern and then cast Demonic Tutor. Actually, I think that works. Oddly enough. It's kind of hilarious. But it works. Just barely. Do we want Ulamog? Do we want Karn? I actually think this will be better. Find Karn. Play the Karn. -2. Get God Pharaoh statue. Play the God Pharaoh statue. We go to 4. Ragavan will put us at 2. But he can't play anything. At all. Demonic Tutor. That works. We need life. Is what we need. We could find... I actually think Cram Session's going to be better here. Smash! It's a race! You go to 10. We'll kill you next turn. Or at least get you to 3. Gain 2 more life. He can't play anything. Well, if he wants to use his treasure, he could play a 2-drop. Let me think. What else could we find? Nothing's really cheap enough. Find the One Ring, but we don't have enough health. So yeah, I think it's actually better to do this. Find a land. Go back up to 6. Play the Blooming Marsh. Uptick the God Pharaoh statue. Swing for 6. Put you at 3. And then we win next turn unless you can hit me for 6. With not much mana. Which is possible. Nope. We got you. We keep this. It's kind of perfect. Alright, here's my plan. You ready? Dark Ritual. Tutor. For Blooming Marsh. Play the Blooming Marsh. Channel. Karn. God Pharaoh's statue. And we win. Ugh. It's kind of bad. 2 Fabled Passages. Kind of hate it. I'm gonna mulligan. This is better. Pass turn. Start with the Fabled Passage, because if we play the Overgrown Tomb and play the Kami and put the Fabled Passage into play for free, it comes in tapped, and then we can't sack it to get our land, which means we can't sack it to get our land until next turn, which is just a complete waste of the Kami. So we might as well crack the Fabled Passage this turn and be able to play the Tomb untapped next turn if we need to. Alright, we got a forest. We got a tutor. Trying to play 4D chess here. Alright, we're set up to win next turn. Took a little bit of doing. We got everything we need now. Oh, he played his own channel. Emrakul? Oh, he's gonna make me kill myself with my own channel. He's gonna make me kill myself with my own channel. What a bastard. Oh my god. Welcome to Vintage? Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there, and if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.